Hello everyone, and welcome to Intro to Essential Oils Q&A webinar. I'm really excited to do this webinar. I've never done a question and answer session before, but I've had many people ask the same questions, so I thought why not make that a webinar, make it interactive, allow people to submit questions beforehand, and then also ask questions during the webinar via the chat feature. So I would encourage you, if you're attending live, to go ahead and make use of that chat feature and type in any questions that you have, and I will do my best to answer them during this webinar. In the meantime, I will be addressing questions that I've already received so that perhaps you've had that same question and you will get an answer for that as well. So just to give you a little background into why I'm excited to talk about essential oils. We started using essential oils about 3 years ago for our family, mainly with our oldest son in mind, who struggled with autism and bipolar and other mental health issues. And we have just seen a huge transformation in him, and that kind of launched us using essential oils for just our own health and stability, and we've all had amazing results. So I've kind of committed myself to teaching and educating more about essential oils so that others too can learn the wonderful benefits of essential oils and learn how to incorporate them into their own lives so that they can improve their health and well-being as well. Before we jump right in, I just have to put this out there that the information that I provide in this webinar has not been evaluated by the FDA, and the products that I refer to have not been approved by the FDA. They're not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease, so please seek your healthcare provider before starting any nutritional program as well. So for those of you who are absolutely brand new to the world of essential oils, your first question may be, what exactly are essential oils? So I will answer that really briefly. They're aromatic compounds that are found in plants. They're found in various parts of the plant depending on that plant. It could be the stem, leaves, flowers, roots, bark. In citrus, it's in the rinds of the citrus plants. And the essential oils are essential to the life of the plant. That's how the plant wards itself off of predators, heals itself should it get sick or injured. So it's really important. You see pictured here a peppermint leaf, and then when it's magnified, you see those white sacs in the peppermint leaf, and those are the essential oil containing sacs for the peppermint plant. So essential oils are very concentrated because it's these oils from the various plants that are extracted and in large quantities. So it makes them 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. So since we're talking peppermint, if you've ever had a cup of peppermint tea to, soothe an upset stomach or, just to be invigorating, you would have to drink 28 cups of peppermint tea to get the same effect as 1 drop of peppermint essential oil. So that just kind of helps put that in perspective, how potent essential oils really are. Another thing, if you are new to essential oils, you may be asking is, well, how do I use these oils? There are 3 basic ways that I want to mention. The first is aromatic. This is a great way to clean the air, affect mood. You can do it in several different ways. My favorite way is using a diffuser, because then I put a few drops into a cool mist diffuser and it puts the oil droplets into the air so that everybody present can benefit from the oils. But you don't have to have a diffuser to benefit from the aromatic effects. You can do it simply just by opening up a bottle and inhaling. You can also apply a drop of oil to your hands and rub them together and cup them over your nose and your mouth and inhale. Other people like to keep the scent of a particular oil with them throughout the day, so they may put a drop or 2 on a cotton ball or a tissue and keep it tucked in their pocket. There's also some really great diffuser jewelry you can get out there on the internet that you can apply drops to as well, so that you get that aromatic effect throughout the day. Another great way of using essential oils is topically. You can apply the oils to the bottoms of the feet or to particular areas to target specific needs. So the reason why I recommend bottoms of the feet, the second largest pores in the body are in the bottoms of the feet, second to under the tongue. So it's a great way to get the oil really quickly into the bloodstream. It takes about 30 seconds. So it's a great way to just make it systemic. But if you have a particular concern that you want to address, you can absolutely apply it to that area. I just recommend that you keep the oils out of the eyes or the ears directly because they are so potent, they'll really irritate those mucous membrane linings. Also, when you're applying topically, I would recommend that you use a carrier oil to help just dilute the oil in a sense where it won't irritate the skin. And I actually will be addressing more about the carrier oil later in this webinar. So you'll have questions answered about what a carrier oil is answered in a moment. The third way to use essential oils is topically. And this is a really great way to benefit from oils, but I also would put a warning out there to be really careful what type of oils you ingest. I would recommend only internal use for doTERRA essential oils. I have done a lot of research about different essential oil companies because they can't be regulated by the FDA. There is no standardization for purity or anything like that. And doTERRA has really impressed me with the way that they go above and beyond to ensure purity and make sure that the oil that you are using is not contaminated with any types of chemicals, pesticides, fillers, preservatives, anything like that, so that it truly is safe. And also make sure that that oil is specifically safe for internal use. Some oils just aren't meant to be taken internally. Could be because they're a tree or, other types of oils that just aren't meant for internal use. So always check the label on your bottle and only use internally if you see that supplemental fact sheet on there that will say that it's safe for internal use. But when you do use oils internally, you can do it in several different ways. You can put a drop or a few drops in water. That's my favorite way of consuming oils on a daily basis internally. But if you are going to do that, make sure you only use a glass or a stainless steel cup because you don't want to be drinking chemicals in your water that the oils can leach out of your plastic. Also, you can place a drop or two of an oil under the tongue, or you can place a few drops in a veggie capsule and swallow it like you would a pill. This is a great way to support your digestive system, your mouth, your throat, and your overall health. So we're going to jump right into some questions. How do I know how to use my essential oils? You may have bought essential oils before, and maybe you left them unopened in your bathroom or in your bedroom because you were overwhelmed and didn't know how to use them. Well, I have some great recommendations for you. First of all is the Modern Essentials book. This book is just an incredible way to learn about essential oils, to learn all about them, the science behind them, to have access to studies that have been done, scientific studies, so that you can see why they recommend certain uses for the oils. I love that aspect because I am a nurse, so I love the science behind things. But it also is really great because the book is broken down in several different sections where they break down all of the oils as single oils, all of the blend oils that you can get, as well as the different supplements and products that are available. And my favorite part is in the back, which is a section where you can look up any type of complaint or, system of the body that you want to know how to support. And it will give you specific oil recommendations for that. So it just makes it really simple and easy. It lets you know whether you can use it topically, internally, or aromatically, what the best recommendation is for what you want to specifically address. So I call it my Essential Oils Bible. It really is a foundation for being able to know how to use your essential oils and get the most out of them. Another great resource is product information that you can get off of www.doterra.com. They have all of their products listed, and there is an informational sheet for each product. So again, that will give you tips on how to use it, what to use it for. So use that as a resource. Another way is by using my personal website. I have www.balanceessentialliving.com, and I have a blog on there that I like to put helpful tips and personal stories in there just so that you get ideas of ways that you can use your essential oils. And it also has other information about essential oils in general, as well as lots of different classes that I teach that you can either schedule to host, or I have some links to some previous webinars that I've done, so you can get more information to learn more about the oils so that you can use them to their fullest. Another great resource is if you have enrolled with doTERRA, you have a wellness advocate. So you can contact your wellness advocate, whether it be me or someone else, who can then get information for you, can teach you how to find your own information so that you can be your own advocate, so that you can be your own healer in your own home. So another question that has been asked is, how much essential oil do I use at a time? That's a really great question. I always say start with the lowest possible dose. 1 to 2 drops should be enough to see a result. And why not, save money, make your oils last longer by using less and still, get that result that you're looking for. Another thing to keep in mind too is that less is more, especially when it comes with essential oils, because they are so potent. You really don't need a lot. A little goes a long way. So start with 1 to 2 drops as a dose, and you can increase the dose as necessary to achieve the desired benefit if you don't necessarily see a change right away with the 1 to 2 drops. And you can reapply a topical dose every 4 to 6 hours as needed. Because every individual is unique, the dose will vary per individual based on size, age, and just your overall health status. So keep that in mind. When you are using oils aromatically, I would recommend using anywhere from 1 to 5 drops of oil per diffusion period if you're using a diffuser. And that is based on the oils have different potency levels in their aroma. So some oils are just a whole lot more intense and stronger in smell than others. So you don't want to be like overwhelming the senses by using one of those powerful oils and putting in 5 drops. 1 or 2 might be sufficient of that one. Another thing, if you're going to use, let's say, a cotton ball in an air vent, 1 to 3 drops would be sufficient to diffuse into your car. And I've done that many times, especially to address issues with my boys and keep our car ride peaceful. If you're going to be using the oils internally, under the tongue, I would say 1 to 2 drops. If you're using a veggie capsule, 1 to 3 drops. If you're using it in water, this is a very personal preference thing, but my recommendation is about 2 drops and 8 ounces of water. If you don't like the strong taste, you can decrease it to 1 drop. If you feel that that's not enough, you can do 3 drops and 8 ounces. That would be fine as well. So again, that's a little personal preference, but I'm just giving this information to you as a guide to get you started. Another question, how frequently should I use an essential oil? Well, if you are trying to address acute needs, I would recommend using the oil at least every 4 hours, but you can also be as frequent as to every 15 minutes if needed. I had actually read a research study on that, trying to figure out where that therapeutic threshold is for the body. And in general, if you use the oils more frequently than every 15 minutes, you exceed that therapeutic threshold and your body just has to dump it. So you're wasting your money. If you are addressing chronic needs, just using the oils at least 2 to 3 times a day, every day, is fine enough to see a result. The key is consistency. You can't just use an oil one time and just say, oh, it didn't work. If you've used it for a week consistently on a daily basis, you should absolutely see results. So if you aren't, talk with your wellness advocate and see if they have recommendations for what you can be doing so that you do see a result. So now we're going to talk about carrier oils. When I had mentioned topical application, I recommended a carrier oil. And this is a vegetable-based oil that carries essential oils onto the skin for absorption. So this is really important to use when applying essential oils topically to young elderly or sensitive skin, or when applying warm oils. Some oils that have a higher phenol content are spicier, warmer oils, and they can be irritating to the skin. So you will definitely want to dilute them with a carrier oil. And you will notice if you do use the Modern Essentials book, it does have recommendations for each oil about whether you should dilute them or not. So there's actually a really handy color coding in the back of the book that helps you know whether it's safe to use without dilution, or if you should use moderate dilution, or if you should heavily dilute the oil. So that also is a great tip. When you use a carrier oil, make sure that you're using 100% pure vegetable-based oil for your own safety, and also preserve the essential oil's delicate chemical profile. You don't want to be using an oil that's tainted with other chemicals, preservatives, whatever, that can then change the therapeutic quality of the oil that you're using, of the essential oil that you're using. So some examples of carrier oils: there's coconut, almond, walnut, macadamia nut, sunflower, jojoba, grapeseed, linseed, avocado, olive oil, the full gamut of different oils that you can choose from. My personal favorite is fractionated coconut oil. And this is coconut oil that has gone through a physical process that separates out the shorter length fatty acid chains, so that the oil is always liquid at room temperature, and it's non-greasy and lightweight. So it's really great for using, because then it doesn't leave that greasy residue on your skin that you would get should you choose to use like an olive oil. So, so that's just my recommendation. So again, a question was asked, how do I know if I should dilute with a carrier oil? Like I mentioned, the Modern Essentials book is a really great way to give you that guide. So there are 3 different classifications of oils for topical use, and you will find that on in the Modern Essentials book. You'll find that online. If you use the doTERRA.com website for each product, it will say neat, dilute, or sensitive. It'll have like an N, D, or an S. And these are the classifications that kind of help provide that guidance for you for knowing when to dilute, when to not. For me personally, I always say, always dilute if you're going to use it topically, because 1, it is going to prevent any type of skin irritation, and 2, you're going to make your oils go farther, especially if you're trying to cover a larger area. So why not dilute? So neat, if the oil is listed as neat, it can be applied topically without dilution on most people. If you have sensitive skin, or again, if you're applying to young or elderly skin, you're always going to want to dilute, even if the oil is listed as neat. So, but in general, oils that are listed as neat are mild oils that generally don't induce skin sensitivity. Some examples would be frankincense, lavender, melaleuca, melissa, and sandalwood. If the oil is classified as dilute, you want to dilute these oils with a carrier oil before you apply topically. In every case, they have a high proportion of the constituents that are essentially potent, just such as phenols. Examples of those would be cassia, cinnamon, clove, oregano, and thyme. So these are your warmer, spicier oils that you always want to dilute, no matter who you are. Sensitive is another classification, and these are oils that you would in particular want to dilute, especially when using on young or sensitive skin. And examples of that would include peppermint, ginger, eucalyptus, wintergreen, and black pepper. So just keep that in mind when you are deciding whether or not you want to dilute an oil with a carrier oil. So those classifications will give you guidance for that. Another question that someone has asked is, how much should I dilute with a carrier oil? So a recommended dilution ratio is typically 1 drop of essential oil to 3 drops of your carrier oil. And you can dilute this ahead of time if you want to mix these oils in an empty glass bottle, like a roll-on bottle or a spray bottle, just to make it easier to just quickly apply and go. But you can also mix this in your hands and apply directly, right away. So it's just personal preference and ease of using the oils in a diluted form. When you are using oils on children, I would definitely recommend that you would dilute more strongly than just the 1 drop to the 3 drops, especially if it's a younger child. Typically, a good ratio would be 1 drop to 1 tablespoon of carrier oil for children. And then if you're dealing with the elderly or sensitive skin, 1 drop to 1 teaspoon or even more of the carrier oil would be sufficient as well. Sometimes you have to just do trial and error to see how a particular skin type will respond to the oil, and you kind of play around with it. I mean, if you feel that you're not getting a skin irritation, but you aren't really getting the result that you're looking for, you may want to try pulling back on your carrier oil to see if you can get a better result that way. This dilution guide that I have listed here is helpful for dealing with children. Obviously, the younger the child, the more diluted you want it to be. But that is just a guide. You can kind of fluctuate that based on your own child. So one common question that gets asked is, how can I focus and concentrate better? There are some really great products out there for helping with that. Intune being my absolute favorite, and one that my son in particular uses every day. It's the Focus Blend, and it enhances and sustains a sense of focus, and it supports the efforts of those who have difficulty paying attention and staying on task. It's a great study time blend. You can apply this oil to the temples and back of the neck when needing to tune in to tasks that require concentration, or apply to wrists or the back of the hands and inhale deeply to promote a sense of clarity. You can use it at work to stay on task, or when feeling tired mid-afternoon. It's a great pick-me-up after lunch. You can also diffuse or place a drop on a clay pendant and place on a desk or in other key areas of a classroom. And if you don't have Intune or would prefer a different oil, some other great options for focusing and concentrating would be peppermint, lemon, Douglas fir, and cedarwood. Another common question, how can I increase my energy? Again, there are some really great products for that. Some of my favorite being peppermint and lemon, elevation, which is the joyful blend, and also really helpful this time of the year when we don't see the sun very much, and motivate, which is an encouraging blend. These oils are all just really great for that. And for me personally, I drink lemon in my water every day, and that goes a really long way to help me with energy. When I get done with really long nursing shifts and I'm tired and just trying to stay awake on my ride home, I will often use peppermint on the back of my neck, or I'll inhale it or put a drop under my tongue just to help me stay awake. Mito2 Max is actually a supplement that is really great for supporting healthy cellular energy production and healthy mitochondrial function and aerobic capacity. It also improves stamina naturally without the use of harmful stimulants. It's a great caffeine replacer, and it promotes healthy circulation. So I'd highly recommend that if you are looking to have more energy throughout the day. Also, just taking the Lifelong Vitality supplements. These are 3 core products of the doTERRA Lifelong Vitality Program: the Alpha CRS Plus, which is a cellular vitality complex; the Z Omega, which is an essential oil and omega complex; and the Microplex MVP is also really helpful because all of these are formulated to help provide you with targeted levels of essential nutrients and powerful metabolic factors for optimal health, energy, and longevity. I have had so many people say when they've started taking these supplements, I cannot believe how much energy I have. So I would highly recommend that you try that as just a maintenance thing for every day. Another popular question is, how can I get restful sleep? Lavender is a great oil because it's used widely for its calming and relaxing qualities. It also helps to ease feelings of tension. So a couple ideas for you. You can add a few drops of lavender to your pillow or bedding or to the bottoms of your feet for a restful night's sleep. I actually have made a lavender pillow mist that my boys like to use to it's water and the lavender oil and just like a couple granules of Epsom salt to help the water and oil mix a little bit better. And they just shake it up and spray it on their pillow for just preparing themselves for sleep when they lie down. Also, you can add a couple drops to bath water to help soak away stress, or you can apply some lavender to the temples or the back of the neck. You can also take lavender internally to help reduce anxious feelings, and you can also take it internally just to help with a peaceful sleep. there is Serenity, which is a restful blend, which has lavender in it as well as other really relaxing oils. And this helps to promote relaxation in a restful sleeping environment. It lessens feelings of tension and calms emotions, and it calms the mind and soothes the senses. So if you feel like lavender just isn't cutting it, or you want something stronger, I would definitely recommend Serenity. And there's also a Serenity Restful Complex, which is an internal soft gel that is really great because it helps to relieve occasional sleeplessness. It promotes healthy relaxation and sleep, helps you get that refreshing sleep that you need without feeling groggy or sleepy when you wake up the next day. It also helps to make a difference in the quality and ease of going to sleep. And it encourages restful sleep. It calms the nervous system, and it helps to reduce stress. So all really great things to consider. A lot of people like to use Serenity in a diffuser or place a drop on their pillow, and then use the Serenity Restful Complex that they'll take like 30 minutes before bedtime to just really help get their body in that sleep mode. So if you have any other questions, you can feel free to contact me at any time. I'm going to check the chat to see if I have any more questions that I haven't addressed yet. And then you can also, if I'm not your wellness advocate and you already have another wellness advocate, you can feel free to reach out to them. If I'm not your wellness advocate because you don't have one, I would love to be your wellness advocate. So you can talk to me about how I can become your wellness advocate. So the last thing I just want to cover is getting essential oils into your home. I get asked that frequently. Okay, these oils sound amazing. I would really love to give them a try. How do I get them into my home? So there are two ways to do that. The first is by paying retail at cost prices that you would just order from my product page whenever you want oils. But I'm a penny pincher, so if you happen to be like me, that's not the best way or the cheapest way to get oils. So I would recommend going the wholesale route, and that works like Costco membership. It gives you a discount of 25% off the retail price every time that you order. And it automatically renews annually as long as you purchase at least one oil or product every 12 months. So there's no like monthly commitment if you don't want that, and you still benefit from that wholesale pricing. So it's a really great way to go. There are also some options that you can have where you can have a chance to earn reward points that you then can redeem for free products. If you do a monthly order, you also have an option to earn commissions that you get just by sharing oils with others. And along with the wholesale account, you actually get your own back office website where you can have an easier time of just ordering oils whenever you want them. So you can get that wholesale membership one of two ways. One is by paying a membership fee of $35, a lot cheaper than Costco, and you just simply purchase the specific oils that you want, and then you're given that back office website for making future orders. The best money-saving way of getting a wholesale membership, though, is by purchasing a kit, because you have the membership fee waived, and then you're able to get several oils at a discounted price because you're buying in bulk as opposed to individually. And it's great because there are many different enrollment kits that you can look through and choose to best meet the needs that you're looking to address. So you aren't locked into just one type of kit that, has oils that you may not want. You can choose the oil that best fits your own needs. So just really briefly, a couple options that are available. There's the Natural Solutions Kit, which is the kit that I started with that I like to say is that life-changing choice kit. It really goes a long way to just get you jump-started, gives you a collection of some of the core essential oils that are really great to have on hand, and a lot of the products that are just fabulous, including the lifelong vitality supplements I was telling you about. It comes with a great diffuser that diffuses 4 and 8 hours, so great one for diffusing overnight. All of the products that come in the kit are just amazing, and I would highly recommend this kit. But if you're looking to start smaller, the Home Essentials Kit is a really great way. I like to call it the Emergency Preparedness Kit because it has the 10 basic oils that are just really great to have on hand for anything that comes up in life on a daily basis. It also comes with a diffuser, which has a 1, 2, and 4 hour setting. So again, helpful to have. You can get half of a night's diffuse with it. but it's also my favorite diffuser for the ease of filling and cleaning. So it's just great overall. If you're looking to just sample the different oils and kind of decide for yourself before you jump right in and make a huge commitment, the Family Essentials Kit is a way to go. I call it like a sampler kit, because you have the same 10 basic oils as the previous kit, the Home Essentials Kit, but they're all 5 milliliter bottles instead of 15 milliliter bottles. So you're getting a third of the oil, but it at least gives you a chance to be able to sample all of the oils without making a huge financial commitment. And then it also comes with the bonus of On Guard beadlets and peppermint beadlets, which you can take internally, which are a great way to consume the essential oil. So the last question I want to throw out there that you may be asking is, how can I benefit? You can benefit by being a user. Just simply benefit personally from the supportive properties of the oils and the oil products. You get out of it whatever you want to get out of it. But you can also benefit by being a sharer. So you're enjoying the personal benefits and you want to share that with friends and family. So you can do that by talking about the oils, by allowing them to try your oils. And a great way to do it is by hosting a class. And I would come or one of my teammates would come and teach a class for you. And you can get host or hostess benefits as well. So that's another great way to benefit. The third way to benefit is by actually being a builder. So you're already sharing the oils with your friends and family because you love them and you want them to benefit as well. Why not get paid to do that? So you would just simply, continue to tell others and be able to get a commission check off of that. So if you are interested in learning more about sharing or even building, I would be happy to talk to you about that and set up a class for you and help you set up your own business if that's the way that you would like to go. No matter how you choose to benefit, I just really encourage you to slow down, think about your life, think about the needs in your life and how essential oils and other natural products may be the answer that you're looking for to just help improve the quality of your life. Slow down, be healthy, and make a difference. Make a difference in your own life and make a difference in the lives of your family members and friends. So if you would like to enroll or if you have any more questions that you would like to ask me, please feel free to contact me or contact the wellness advocate who invited you to this class. And you have my email listed there. You can also reach me on my cell phone. You can also visit my website just for more information. And you can also, if you would like to order retail or if you'd like to sign up for a wholesale account and want to do that yourself, you can also visit mydoterra.com/Christine Russell RN to do that. If you have any more questions, I'm here. Reach out to me, email or phone. I would love to help you as you seek to improve your health and well-being. Thanks so much for joining me today. Bye.